completion on this drive.
That was the first time Marquise Lewis had a reception yet today. And they're going to call a penalty. So here we go on the penalty. And they're going to call a false start on the Viking offense. That's the Vikings' second penalty today. The Monarchs yet to have a penalty so far. So here we go. 1st and 15 now with 40 seconds left. As Nelson steps back, and he's going to take it himself and run. Nelson gets to the outside, and he's going to go out of bounds to stop the clock with 34 to go. 34 seconds in the first half. So here we go. 34 seconds left as the Viking offense stop the clock in that last play, and Peyton Nelson going to bring his guys back on. He's got a 4-wide set, Strong the lone back, in shotgun now. Nelson's going to step back. Nelson's looking, and he's going to throw the ball, but it's incomplete to number 3, Tavion Seals. Number 3, Tavion, number 2, Davion, so getting those two mixed up so far today.
Yeah, a couple of Avions on the team doing a great job so far in this drive.
29 seconds left to go, 3rd and 12. And the Monarchs are going to try to make sure that this 7-7 score holds here in Omaha, Nebraska. .29 seconds left, and it's going to be 3rd and 12, and there's going to be a penalty. And that's going to be called on the offense. It looks like a delay of time.
Well, Carl, that's 2 mistakes we've seen from the Vikings here in this drive, and that could prevent them from putting points on the board. Only 29 seconds left. They do have one more timeout to use.
3rd and 17 now. Ball on the 39. The Vikings, Peyton Nelson's going to step back. Nelson's looking deep. And the ball is almost picked off by number 4, Jalen Allison, intended for Marquise Lewis. Bringing up 4th and 17. With only 23 seconds left to go, it looks like the offense is going to stay on the field and go for it on this 4th and long.
Kyle, this is what they did the last time they had the ball, except now they have to go 17 yards to get the first down.
So far, the Monarchs, the underdogs, have been staying in this game. 7-7. The Monarchs have done an excellent job on both sides of the ball. They're going to see if they can continue that as Omaha North calls their last time out of the half. So there we go with 23 seconds left on the timeout, and so far the Monarch defense done an excellent job, and some beautiful trees and a beautiful night here.
Great night for football.
Some more technical difficulties, it looks like, with our cameramen. Just kind of doing whatever they want. And take a look at this play here earlier in the quarter. This was Nelson's pass to Davion Reed, which set up a first down. Reed making a great move there. So here we go now. 4th and 17. We'll see if they can convert on this 4th down and long. The Monarch student section behind me is crazy loud. Nelson's going to step back, and he's looking deep. Incomplete, intended for Tavion Seals. That's going to bring up a turnover on downs. The Monarchs will have the ball at their own 39 with 16 seconds left here in the second quarter.
Well, Kyle, an interesting situation here for the Monarchs. You know, they could take a knee and go into the second half still tied up, or they might even, they might try and
shoot for the big one.
Yeah, miracle play here. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
And it looks like DeToro's going to come in and kneel the ball. Smart decision for Coach Govier, and that's going to be the end of the first half. All knotted up here, 7-7 for the Monarchs coming in here as the underdogs on the road to Omaha North. And it's 7-7. They've done a great job. For the most part, they've stopped Calvin Strong.
Yeah, Kyle, I mean, this is something the Vikings are not used to.
Not at all. And so let's take a look at this play earlier in the game. This is Sean Van Briesen. This was in the first drive of the game. Van Briesen made plays all over the field in that first drive. There was his first down. And here is a throw to Jalen Allison for a first down also on that drive. And this is how they tacked off that drive as DeToro, under pressure, threw it into Lucas Hostetler for a touchdown. Later in the game, DeToro rolling out there getting a first down with his feet on third down.
Nice job by Alex DeToro. Always a dual threat quarterback.
That was that big third down play. Nick Lechtenberg stuffing Calvin Strong there. And this was the mistake made earlier. DeToro, his ball was picked off by number 14, Grant Martin. Martin did a great job of fighting for extra yards. That set up a touchdown on this drive. Nelson threw it there to Davion Reed on that drive, and that was brought it in. And they tacked it on with Strong later in that drive. There's Van Briesen on the first down play on a short throw from DeToro. Late in the second quarter there, Davion Reed doing what he can to get first downs. And so at the end of 1-7-7, Monarchs and the Omaha North Vikings here, as the band is going to perform. We'll send you off. We'll be back for the second half here for some more Monarch broadcasting of Friday night under the light high school football. And we're back with some more Friday night under the light high school football action. I'm Kyle Cephas alongside me,
Sean Crowell.
And we are going to bring you the second half of the Papillion La Vista Monarchs and the Omaha North Vikings high school football game as the Papillion La Vista North Monarchs come into this game, the underdogs. 7-7 after one half. The Vikings don't really have an answer for the Monarchs defense right now. And the Monarchs offense does not have an answer for the Vikings defense. Defensive battle so far today. Sean, what has been the key to both teams' successes and failures so far?
Well, Kyle, as far as the Monarch defense doing a great job against Calvin Strong, I think it's what we talked about at the beginning of the game. Getting more guys in the box. This whole game we've seen Monarchs have like 8 guys in the box, 7 guys in the box to deal with Calvin Strong, and they've done a great job of preventing him from having breakaway plays and big long touchdown runs. But as far as the Monarch offense, doing a great job giving the ball to Sean Van Briesen those first few drives. He's having a great night so far. Alex DeToro doing some work on his legs and making some great passes to a variety of receivers.
So far, it's been a defensive battle. Coming into this game, any regular Joe probably would have just said this game was going to be a high-scoring offensive battle. But so far, it's been the defenses that have been the difference makers. This Monarch defense that's been statistically a weak against the run this year has really, really shut down Calvin Strong, as Calvin Strong has gotten in the end zone once, but like you said, no breakaway touchdowns for him today. And on that last drive, the Omaha North Vikings, they had too many penalties. 2 minutes left until the third quarter starts. As
well, folks, just like to mention an apology here for the first half, losing most of the audio for that entire time, so had some technical difficulties setting up here at this unfamiliar stadium, but got that going now, so we'll be able to get all of the audio to you in the second half.
And the Monarchs are going to kick the ball away to the home team, the Vikings. So the Vikings get to start with the ball here, and coming out of the locker room, we get to see which team is going to have the momentum starting off this third quarter.
It'll be interesting to see if the Vikings try and find some different ways to get Calvin Strong to make big plays for them. And of course the Monarchs always focusing on their attention on him and how to deal with him.
So back to receive this kick is going to be Calvin Strong and number 22, Javon Perkins, who earlier in the game was injured, but like I said, he would come back, and he did. Also back to the receive is number 3, Tavion Seals. 3 guys back to receive this kick. Michael Bosilovic in to kick the ball off to the opposing team. And so far, you know, like we've said, it's been a defensive battle, and the biggest key now to victory with only 24 minutes left to go is which offense is going to step up. Because we've seen both defenses do it. Now it's up to the offense to get it done.
Absolutely, Kyle. This second half will be all about, you know, whose offense can really step it up and put those points on the board.
After the second half, after halftime, the second half, it's colder out here, but it's still a clear, beautiful night here in Omaha, Nebraska. And here we go as Bosilovic is ready to kick it off. That Monarch kickoff team is pumped. Here we go, start of the second half underway. As not the best kickoff, as it's going to go to 22, Javon Perkins, and Perkins shaking his, baking his way. The Monarchs are going to stop him down. Be first and 10 for the Vikings on the 24-yard line, as Peyton Nielsen, the quarterback, leading his team back on with Calvin Strong, the running back.
And Kyle, last drive from the Vikings, we saw him completing some good passes to a variety of receivers, so I'm wondering if maybe they go back to that later in this drive.
So here we go on 1st and 10, and Calvin Strong gets the ball up the middle. Strong fighting his way for a first down until he's brought down by 40. Kevin Long on the play.
Well, Kyle, that's one of the better runs we've seen from Calvin Strong tonight. Another first down for him. But that's really as far as he's gotten so far against this Monarch defense.
So 1st and 10, like you said, impressive run. Here we go on the I formation for Nelson, as he'll hand the ball to Calvin Strong again, who finds a hole until he's brought down. Initial contact made by number 36. That was Kyle Emmerich. In on the play there. Seen a lot of Kyle Emmerich and a lot of Nick Lechtenberg getting in there on the play so far today.
Yeah, Kyle, we're doing a lot of different blitz schemes from the linebackers, and I think that might have something to do with missing Tyler Koch there on defensive end.
So here we go, 2nd down, and David Newell, number 31, getting back there. Great defense by Newell on the play as he got in there untouched.
Yeah, Kyle, not only are we doing some linebacker blitzes, but we're sending in defensive backs like David Nolan. He's quick, and he can find the ball and make a nice tackle like he did right there.
Good defensive call by Coach O for this defense, and it'll bring up 3rd and 7 with 10:40 left in the third quarter for the Vikings. Facing their first 3rd down of the quarter. And Nelson in, again, the I formation, 2 wides to his right. Under center, he's going to step back, and he's going to look to run, and he's going to be stuffed. The Monarchs are going to get the ball back as Omaha North looks to send on their punting unit. Great job by the defense there to stop Nelson. He couldn't find the open receiver, and he couldn't find the open hole to run through.
Yeah, Kyle, it's a great defensive stop coming early in the second half. A lot like how the Monarchs started their first half.
Back to receive will be 15 Reed Mathias and 2 Jack Kalina. Seen both of these guys get a few grabs here today. And the punt, a long punt that's going to go out of bounds. No, it's going to bounce in, and Jack Kalina going to take it. He'll get about 4 yards as they're going to call a penalty. And we'll see what the call is. So the ref going to call the penalty here. Personal foul against the Monarchs. That'll be a penalty. That's the first time the Monarchs have had a penalty yet here today.
Yeah, Kyle, and that one's going to hurt them. Put them back deep in their own territory to start off this drive.
Could have started from the 26. Now they're going to start from what looks like the 11. On the 18, rather, for the Monarchs. Here we go with trips to his left. DeToro in. And DeToro, who had a decent first half. He threw an interception, but he also threw a touchdown. And he's going to hand the ball off to Sean Van Briesen, who's been running pretty well today, but he'll be stuffed by that Omaha North defense.
You know, Kyle, that's a good call, even though it wasn't as successful as I'm sure the Monarchs would like it to be. But I think the Monarchs really need to get that run game going once again, and that'll open up the pass game for Alec DeToro.
2nd and 8 after Van Briesen was stuffed. And DeToro is going to step back. He'll throw the ball, intended for Kalina, and it's intercepted by Tavion Seals. Tavion Seals to the 5, touchdown! Omaha North scores. Jack Kalina, the ball goes right through his hands and into the hands of the defender. And Omaha North putting on, that's the first time they've had the lead so far here today.
Yeah, Kyle, and that comes from a defensive touchdown. I mean, that right here, Alec DeToro puts the ball where it needs to be. Tough play there for Jack Kalina. And now the Vikings look to increase their lead by 7 points.
The Monarchs have to stay composed after that one.
Kyle, that is a huge play from the Vikings defense. It comes here with 9 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
And again, that was Tavion Seals. We've talked about the lack of height on the team. Tavion Seals stands in at 5'5", Sean. Okay. A sophomore standing in at 5'5" as he returned that one all the way. And tacks on the extra point. It'll be 14-7 with 9:03 left. Omaha North with their first lead of the game.
Kyle, we talked about how it was a defensive game so far, and it continues to be. Defense for Vikings putting up some points now. And Monarchs will have to come right back out with that offense, try and get something started.
So back to receive the kick will be number 4, Jalen Allison, and number 15, Reed Mathias for the Monarchs. That's number 33, Simon Lassen. He's going to kick the ball off. Monarchs just have to stay composed and forget about that interception. That was DeToro's second of the game. He just needs to keep his head on his shoulders and get through this next drive. DeToro's thrown the ball very well today. 2 mistakes made so far. That could cost the Monarchs, but as of right now, it's only a 7-point game, and that ball is going to go into the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, Kyle, like you were just saying, those turnovers are going to be huge in this game. Both touchdowns for the Vikings have been a result of an interception, either directly like that last one, or giving the ball to the offense and allowing them to score those touchdowns. So turnovers are huge in this game, and if the Monarchs, when they come back on defense, can somehow get a turnover going, they can definitely help out their offense there.
You got to wonder, if you take away those 2 turnovers, would it be 7-0 right now?
It may very well be.
So DeToro now stepping back. And they're going to keep throwing the ball with DeToro as he's going to roll out and take it himself. He'll be pushed out of bounds by Tavion Seals on the play. Tavion Seals, the last time out, had that pick 6. So here we go on 2nd and 6 after DeToro picks up 4 with his feet. DeToro is going to hand the ball to Van Briesen. Takes it up the middle, gets about a yard of anything before he's shut down. It'll be 3rd and 4. Here we go with 8.5 minutes left. DeToro, 3rd and 4 on the 26, trying to complete this pass if they elect to pass. Trying to convert on this 3rd down and short as DeToro step back. They look to pass. DeToro going long to 15. Reed Mathias, who comes out with it. Mathias is going to run to the 10, 5, and a touchdown scored by the Monarchs. And DeToro answers back after a pick 6. He throws the ball long, and Reed Mathias comes down with it. Big touchdown for the Monarchs as they are looking to tie this game up now.
Well, Kyle, we've seen a lot of passes from DeToro looking for that big touchdown pass, and this time he completes it. Huge momentum shift for the Monarchs, looking to tie this game up, as you said. That's a huge play. Nice catch by Reed Mathias and beats that last man to the end zone.
And the extra point is good. It's 14-14 with 8:06 left to go in the 3rd quarter. After the big 74-yard touchdown strike, DeToro, that was a beautiful pass. He put enough air under it to where only Reed Mathias could get it, and Mathias did the rest of the work.
A great pass, and right after the last drive through that interception, comes right back out here, throws a nice touchdown pass for the Monarchs.
Got to hand it off to DeToro for staying composed. There's number 15, Reed Mathias, after the touchdown. DeToro stayed composed, and that's exactly what you have to do in those type of situations. Good job by him getting a talking from Coach Govier as Michael Bosilovic is set to kick the ball back off to the Vikings. Last time out, the Vikings punted the ball away. So let's see if that defense can stand in there and play another successful drive for the Monarch defense. And Bosilovic's kick from the 40. It's high, it's far, but it is returnable as Calvin Strong is going to take it up the middle, finding the hole, but wow. There was too many white jerseys for Strong there. Great job by the Monarch defense. Great kick coverage for the Monarchs, and it's going to set up a 1st and 10 on the 23 for the Vikings.
Yeah, good situation right here for the Monarch defense with a stop, a turnover, something big here, just like that offense performed so well last drive. If the defense can pull something like that, the Monarchs are in great position.
Here we go on 1st and 10 with 8 minutes left, and Calvin Strong is going to get the ball. No, he's not. Peyton Nelson going to keep it for himself. Great fake. He gets out of bounds, not before the damage is done for a 1st down.
That's a good play call there for the Vikings. Monarchs keeping their eyes on Calvin Strong. Right there. Right there, nice job by Peyton Nelson on the fake.
So here we go on 2nd and 1 rather, on the 32. As the ball is going to go to Calvin Strong, and he's going to go up the middle. Calvin Strong is wrapped up and brought down by Jack Kalina. Wow, almost got out of that. That could have been big for the Vikings.
Yeah, Kyle, you get a little nervous when you see Calvin Strong break past those linebackers like we were talking about earlier, but nice job by that secondary by staying composed and stopping him.
That's going to bring up 1st and 10 on the 46 now. The Vikings looking to punch this ball down the end zone, down to the end zone, rather, as they come in here in the I formation, looking to probably run again as Nelson under center is going to step back and throw the ball, and that is intended for Marquise Lewis. Great defense yet again by Kenzo Cotton on the play there.
Very true, Kyle. Kenzo Cotton, one of the fastest guys out there on the field, does a great job of reading the quarterback and getting to where he needs to be to make a good play.
So here we go on 2nd and 10 on the 46. Nelson under center. And it's a pitch to Calvin Strong, as Strong is gonna find the hole, and he'll be short of the first down marker, bringing up 3rd and just a foot to go.
Yeah, Kyle, you know what we see from Calvin Strong, like you were saying earlier, he finds holes. That it's just amazing how he can find holes in the defense, and he can weave in and out of them, make some good yardage.
That is the advantage of being as short as you are, I mean, and as fast and agile as you are as well. So Calvin Strong doing a great job on this drive so far. On 3rd and short, you gotta expect the run here to Strong. And the Monarch defense is choking up as Strong does get the ball, and it looked like at one point he could have been stopped, but it looks like he might have just gotten the first down there. So yep, it'll be a first down. Just barely as Strong gets over the pylon. The first down line, rather.
So now 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line for the Vikings. 6 minutes and 25 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
And Nelson looking to pass. It's completed to number 14, Grant Martin, but not much after the play.
Nice tackle there by David Newell. Strong tackle from that Monarch secondary.
So it'll be 2nd and about 8 to go for the Vikings. In the I formation, here comes Nelson. He'll take the ball, and they're going to call the play dead. Timeout, the first timeout this half, called by Jeff Govier. Coach Govier been a part of this coaching staff for 11 years for the Monarchs. He's seen some ups, he's seen some downs. Monarchs back in 2007 had 1 win in that entire season. Last year, we started off the season on a good note, ended off the season on a bad note. So here we go on 2nd and 8. Nice shout out from our student section back there. So here we go on 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8. And Calvin Strong for the first time today breaking away, and he's going to score the 2nd time. Great job by Calvin Strong there. The first time he's finally broken away from a play that could have been dead. Good job. He finds the holes, takes it to the outside, and the speed does the rest.
Yeah, Kyle, that's what we were all expecting to see throughout this entire game. And as you said, comes for the first time in the 3rd quarter. At a very important time for both teams. Going to put up the Vikings by 7 points.
It's upsetting for the Monarch defense as they've done such a great job of stopping him so far today, and we knew eventually he was going to break one loose. So here we go for the extra point, and it's good. Tacked on by number 17, Nick Polito.
So Kyle, 2 big plays, one there from Calvin Strong, another one earlier from Reed Mathias. Both teams, both offenses are really stepping it up, and the Monarchs will be back out on the field led by Alec DeToro, trying to get this game tied up once again.
So both teams combining now, 21 points in the 3rd quarter. There was only 14 combined in the first half. So this 3rd quarter has been an offensive quarter so far. Or defensive if you're Tavion Seals, who earlier did return an interception for a touchdown. So with 5:35 left, 21-14, Omaha North up. looking to kick the ball to 15, Reed Mathias, and number 4, Jalen Allison. Monarchs offense just needs to answer back on this drive. And booming kick gonna go to the end zone. The Monarchs are gonna take over at the 20-yard line. DeToro, last time out, 74-yard pass to Reed Mathias. This time out, we'll see if they can emulate that success on this next drive.
Okay, 5 minutes, 35 seconds left in the third quarter. Still plenty of time left in this game. Monarchs really are under no pressure. They really can drive down the field, maybe get the ball to Sean Van Brees and try and get that run game going.
DeToro in the pistol is going to step back, and he's going to get pressured. DeToro makes one guy miss, and Alec DeToro looked like he should have been sacked on that play. Takes it to the outside. Great run from DeToro. He beat the pressure there.
Absolutely. He has great pocket presence when he's looking to pass, and once he decides he's going to run, he does a great job of using his vision of the field to make a nice gains of yards for the first down there.
Here we go on 1st and 10 after DeToro's scramble, and he'll hand the ball off to Van Breesen, who gets stuffed. It'll get about a yard, if anything. Second and 9. As the Monarchs offense looking to make it a first down. DeToro in shotgun, 4-wide set. He'll step back to pass, and DeToro is going to get pressured and sacked. In on the play was number 45. That was Elijah Hawkins, one of the team's captains, and he gets in there. That was the first time DeToro has been stuffed like that, and it'll be 3rd and long for the Monarchs.
Yeah, Kyle, I think the Vikings defense has kind of begun to figure out that if you put pressure on DeToro while he's trying to pass, it can really make things difficult. And also, when Sean Van Breesen is running the ball, they can clog up that middle to prevent the run game from being successful.
Omaha North now looking to defend Alec DeToro's pass. A flag thrown on the play there, and DeToro's going to run for himself. He'll pick up a few yards. We'll see what the penalty is with some laundry on the field. Holding called on the Monarch offense. That's going to... Penalty is declined, so it will bring up 4th down. If it was accepted, it would have been 3rd and 25. But the penalty declined. It's going to bring up 4th down and 12. And it looks like the punting unit for the Monarchs is going to come on for Van Breesen's punt. Back to return will be Marquise Lewis and Tavion Seals, rather.
So not a successful offensive drive for the Monarchs. Nice job for that defense of the Vikings.
Van Breesen, a decent punt there. And the Monarchs are going to down this one. So here we go on 1st 10 on the 33 for the Viking offense last time out. A big touchdown run from Calvin Strong this time out. They're going to try to emulate that success. Calvin Strong into the outside there, and Strong finally being brought down, finding the holes, juking around, shake and bake. As he'll finally get brought down, but not before the damage is done with another Viking first down.
Kyle, this is the Calvin Strong we haven't really seen very much today, but he's running fantastically so far after that touchdown from last drive. Nice run there for the first down.
But it is the Calvin Strong that the other 6 teams that they've played this year has seen.
Absolutely.
See if this Monarch defense can hold him here on 1st and 10 on the 45-yard line. Calvin Strong getting the ball again, and he's just being a workhorse right now. With how successful Calvin Strong has been, you got to wonder if a guy like that were to get injured, what it would do to this offensive game plan.
It would definitely put a huge hole in the. That's one of their biggest. That is their biggest asset on offense. The pass game is not too bad for the Vikings, but of course, without this run game, it would be very difficult for them to be productive.
Right, you are. And here's another handoff to Strong, and Calvin Strong is going to be brought down, but not before another first down for the Vikings.
And Kyle, looks like the Vikings are just going to take their time, run this clock out a little bit, get into the 4th quarter, and keep giving that ball to Calvin Strong. He's doing a great job.
Here we go on 1st and 10 on the 42 on the opponent's side of the 50. And Peyton Nelson under center in the I formation, 2 wides to his right. And they're going to call the play dead, and we'll see who this will be on. A false start on the offense, going to send him 5 yards back. That'll bring up 1st and 15 for the Vikings. Ball on the 47 now for Nelson. Under center in the I formation. Nelson's going to take the ball and he'll hand it off to Calvin Strong. And Strong gets stuffed. That Monarch defensive line getting back in there. That'll bring up 2nd and long, Sean, for the Vikings. And on the play at that time was Jason Martin. And he gained about a yard, so that's the first time they've ran the ball to someone not named Calvin Strong yet today. So here we go, Nelson in the shotgun. And he's going to step back to pass. He's looking for number 3, Tavion Seals, with the ball thrown way too low.
Yeah, Kyle, looks like some kind of miscommunication between quarterback and receiver there.
3rd and about a mile to go for the Vikings. Here we go, 3rd and about a mile as Nelson's going to step back in shotgun, and he's looking for Calvin Strong. He finds Strong, and Strong is going to get the first down. Strong is going to take it to the outside, and he's finally going to be brought down, but not before the damage is done. Wow, on 3rd and 14, all you have to do, they only have 14 yards. All you got to do is stop them, and the Monarchs just couldn't do it there.
Yeah, that is a huge 3rd down conversion for the Vikings. Now they're closing in on the red zone, threatening points here in this drive.
The last time the Vikings were in the red zone, they scored, and that was way back in the first half. This time back in the red zone for the Vikings, only the 2nd time today. As Nelson's going to be under center, and he'll hand the ball off to Calvin Strong. Strong up the middle. Strong going to take it to the outside, and he's going to be brought down just short of the pylon.
Well, Kyle, that tackle from Jalen Allison just saved a touchdown. Vikings threatening to score here. Minute left in the 3rd quarter.
So here we go with, like you said, less than a minute left. The ball is on a 3, and they're going to look to punch it in as they'll hand it off to Strong, and Strong is going to get stuffed. Good play by the Monarch defense there. It'll bring up 2nd and short. Half a minute left to go in the 3rd quarter. Monarch defense, they really need to stop this Omaha Viking offense right now. Timeout called. It'll bring up 2nd and 4 when the timeout's over. So far on this drive, Been a lot of Calvin Strong, that 3rd and 14 conversion, deafening the Monarchs defense.
Yeah, Kyle, that's a huge play for the Vikings. It set up where they are now.
That timeout was called by the Monarchs. They'll have 1 left in this half. Right now, Coach Govier just telling his guys, stay composed, stop strong, force them to kick a field goal. You'd rather be down by 10 than by 14 with 12 minutes left to go. 25 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. The defense getting back and ready to go. Now we're just waiting for the Viking offense to line up. Sean, the big story here in the 3rd quarter. An interception thrown by DeToro that set up a touchdown. That was a touchdown, in fact. And now Calvin Strong finally breaking away and breaking apart this Monarch defense here in the 3rd quarter.
Absolutely, Kyle.
And Calvin Strong gets in there for a touchdown, and the Vikings are going to go up by 2 scores now late in the game. 20 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, and the Vikings are going to take a 2-score lead after Strong's 3rd touchdown score of the game.
Well, Kyle, on that last touchdown run, you see David Newell get into the backfield. Couldn't wrap up Calvin Strong. And you see he's kind of mad about that. And I'm sure the Monarchs are, the Monarch offense is getting ready to put some more points on the board. They really need to step it up here in the 4th quarter. Down by 2 scores now.
And the extra point is good. Tacked on by number 17, Nick Polito. That is going to bring 28-14 with 20 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter here in Omaha, Nebraska. So the Monarchs are back to receive. Number 15, Reed Mathias, and number 4, Jalen Allison will be back for this kick, which will be kicked by number 33, Simon Lassen. Waiting for the kick as the ref's ready to go. And Lassen's going to kick the ball deep. And that one's going to go to the end zone. No return possible. Lassen's been kicking them all back in the end zone. There's only been 1 return yet so far today. So great job by Lassen.
Yeah, Kyle, and that 1 return that the Monarchs did have by Jalen Allison got him to about the 45-yard line. So it was a great return. And I'm sure that has a lot to do with why those kicks are now not being returned.
So there we go on the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 with 20 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. The Monarchs down by 2 touchdowns. Really they don't have the luxury of wasting drives anymore. This is one of those drives that has to end in 6 points.
Absolutely, Kyle. The Monarchs looking to score here.
DeToro going to roll out, and he's going to be sacked and brought down. And that offensive line is not doing a very good job so far here in this game, and that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. The Monarchs down by 2 scores with 12 minutes left to go in the game. It's 28-14 North up on Papio. 2nd and 20 when we get back to the action.
Yeah, Kyle, as you said, that offensive line really needs to prevent Alec DeToro from getting so much pressure. He really needs enough time to make those good passes. As we saw when he made that 72-yard pass to Reed Mathias for the touchdown, those big plays will only happen if Alec DeToro has enough time to throw the ball.
Right you are. And if he does get enough time, big plays will happen. We've seen it so far today. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns. He's also thrown 2 interceptions, but both of those interceptions he didn't have a lot of time. So we'll take you back now earlier here in the 3rd quarter. Maybe not. Earlier here in the third quarter, pass intended to Jack Lina, picked off by Tavion Seals and ran back for a touchdown. You take that interception away alone, it's a 7-point game. You take his interception earlier, it's it's tied. But that's how they answered back after that at pick 6. And Reed Mathias did an excellent job there after getting the ball, running it in for a touchdown. So, great job there.
There's another nice run from Calvin Strong. We've seen a lot of those tonight.
Look at that. He just finds the holes. His offensive line does a great job of making those holes. And the play started up the middle. He takes to the outside, and he's gone. That was that big sack on Toro earlier in the game. And here's Toro's pass to Jalen Allison. Caught by Jalen. And he's going to be brought down. It's going to bring up that'll bring up 3rd and long still for the Monarchs after that 10-yard loss before the third quarter ended.
Well, it's a nice effort by Jalen Allison to make a good catch. Put his team in a better position, as you said.
So here we go. Toro is going to step back. He'll get sacked on 3rd down, and that's going to bring up, that was on 1st and 10. That's going to bring up 2nd down. Oh, technical difficulties with the play clock. That will be 4th down, rather. Play clock had 1st down. I probably should pay attention to the game, Sean.
That's all right, Kyle. And here's Sean Van Briesen to punt.
Van Briesen's punt is going to go into the end zone and recovered by Omaha North for a touchdown, and more mental difficulties there. Wow. If you're Papillion La Vista right now, offensively, you're just not having a great second half. And that time, Sean Van Briesen, not a great snap, and that ball in the end zone. It's going to be a touchdown Omaha North. Now, Omaha North, it was 14-14 earlier. Omaha North scored 3 unanswered touchdowns. And that puts them up.
Yeah, Kyle, that is a devastating play to the Monarchs. A huge one for the Vikings here in the fourth quarter. That's just, they take advantage, and it's those turnovers. It's this mistake right here that's going to make it difficult for the Monarchs to get back into this game.
This just in, Millard South at Foundation Field in Papillion, Nebraska, playing Papillion La Vista South. It is 17-17 there late in that game. We'll keep you updated as to who gets the W there, and that is extra point is tacked on by number 17, Nick Polito, making it a 3-touchdown game, 35-14 with 10:49 left to go in the game. The Monarchs going to get the ball back to receive. Will most likely be Reed Mathias and Jalen Allison.
So Kyle, Monarch offense is going to have to come right back out and try and get something going. 10 minutes, 49 seconds left in the game.
With 11 minutes, it's not impossible to come back. Anything is possible, but it's going to take a lot of effort, physically, mentally, emotionally. They need to stay composed, keep their head on their shoulders. That offensive line has got to do a better job and give their quarterback enough time. Back to receive, rather than Jalen Allison, it'll be number 10, Gabe Kendall, along with 15, Reed Mathias. That'll be the first time Gabe Kendall's been in for a kick return yet today. And this kick by number 33, Simon Lassen. He's kicked most of them deep, and this one looks to be just as deep. But it is returnable for Reed Mathias, as Mathias is going to take it, and he'll be brought down short of the 25. Setting up a 1st and 10 with 10:44 left to go in the game.
So Kyle, not the best field position for the Monarchs here. It looks like we have a down player on the field.
That's an Omaha North player. It's number 30 down there, Rodney Huffman. Rodney Huffman has been the lead blocker for Calvin Strong for most of this game whenever you've seen them on the I formation, so this could be a big loss for the Omaha North Vikings offense.
That's true, Kyle. I mean, we talk about Calvin Strong, but he's also got all these guys on offense who help him become this great player. So losing one of them can definitely affect the offense.
Hopefully it's nothing too serious, yet he still has yet to get up. And that is never good when you see a player go down. But Monarchs will take over at the 18-yard line for 1st and 10. Coach Govier talking it over with his offense, trying to get them pumped up for this 4th quarter comeback. Hopeful. A couple years ago, Monarchs in Alec DeToro's sophomore year, they were down by 3 touchdowns. Lincoln Southwest came back and won with about 11 minutes left to go nonetheless. So gonna see if they can repeat that. Here is that touchdown from earlier. A bad snap, high snap. Van Briesen walked over the ball as he wasn't paying attention, and it could have been a safety. Instead, turns into a touchdown, and that makes it a 21-point game for the Vikings, as number 30, Rodney Huffman, did walk off the field. It's always nice to see someone walk off on their own power. Hopefully he'll be back soon for the Vikings, as DeToro comes in here on the 18-yard line. And a blitz not picked up, but DeToro picks it up himself, breaks the tackle, and DeToro makes what could have been about a 7-yard loss into about a 2-yard gain.
That was a nice move. DeToro sees that blitz coming, makes a good decision, and rolls out for, looks like no gain on the play, but avoids that sack, as you said.
Instead of 2nd and 17, it'll be 2nd and 4. And DeToro's pass, incomplete, intended for number 3, Lucas Hostetler. Lucas Hostetler only has 1 grab today, but that 1 grab was a touchdown. That was the first score of the game back in the 1st quarter on the Monarchs' first drive. So here we go on 3rd and short for the Monarchs as they look to try to convert here. DeToro's going to roll out to his right. DeToro sees the pressure coming, and he's going to go back to his left. And DeToro makes a few guys miss, but not until the damage is done. And he's brought down by number 2, Davion Reed, and number 98, Jalon Onefeather.
Nice job there by the defense, Vikings. Brings up a 4th down and 6 for the Monarchs. And they will be punting deep in their own territory once again, Kyle.
So last time they punted this deep in their own territory, we saw a bad snap. This time, good snap, Van Briesen. Good punt. And Davion Reed can't quite recover that, and that's going to be down at the 34-yard line, 33-yard line rather. Joseph Van Ornum in there to down that ball.
Yeah, nice punt from Sean Van Briesen.
Hey, man.
We're commentating. Nick, don't be disrespectful. So here we go on 1st and 10 on the 33 for the Vikings. Last time out, Calvin Strong punched his 3rd touchdown in this time. See if the Monarchs can stay composed as the play action pass, the ball going deep. And it's intended for Marquise Lewis, but it is incomplete.
Kyle, there's Kenzo Cotton once again. Great defense in that secondary, doing a nice job tonight, breaking up passes.
.9:44 left to go. Ball on the 33, 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. And if you're Omaha North, you're trying to keep the clock running, and incomplete passes is not the way to do that. So here we go for Peyton Nelson under center in the I formation. He's going to pitch it out to Calvin Strong. Strong going to be brought down for a short gain.
So Kyle, the Monarchs only have...
And it looks like there's another injury, Sean, and this one could be on Calvin Strong.
Well, Kyle, that would be obviously a huge loss for the Vikings. And hopefully it's a short temporary injury. Any kind of season-ending injury on Calvin Strong would be devastating not only for his team, but also for his career as a high school football player. And obviously, I mean, he's looking at playing college ball. So that would be unfortunate.
Sean, you just take back and listen. The home side right now is completely silent as their hero and their star player is down, and he's not getting up. This could be really bad for the Vikings. This is their star player. He's the one who scored 3 touchdowns today. Coming into this game, he had 22 touchdowns on the year. So we're just gonna take a moment of silence for a second as they tend to his injury. So Calvin Strong gonna walk off with the help of his buddies. It's never a good thing to see a star player go down, or any player for that matter. But he is walking off on his own power, but not without the help of his training staff and a few of his players.
Yeah, moving really slow there off the field.
So the Vikings might have to change their game plan for the rest of this game, and hopefully not for the rest of their season, as Strong gets tended to on the sideline there. So here we go on 3rd and 7. He's got trips to his right for Nelson. Nelson's going to step back. He'll throw, and the ball is complete for a... Looks like it could have been a first down at one point, but he will be brought back. Great defense there. It'll bring up 4th down and about 5. So the punt is almost blocked. Great coverage there, and looks like it could have been tipped a little. The Monarchs are going to have good field position with 8.5 minutes left to go.
Yeah, Kyle, I mean, this is where it happens. If the Monarchs want to get back into this game, they really need to have a touchdown on this drive.
They do not have the luxury of wasting drives now. 8:30 left, 1st and 10 on the opponent's 45. They really couldn't ask for better field position. They got an answer right here. Their defense did a good job. Now their offense has got to expand right here on this drive. And then their running back is Nick Lechtenberg. And he's just back there to block as DeToro's going to throw to Reed Mathias. But Mathias is going to be brought down right after he catches the ball.
It's a nice defensive play, getting to Mathias as quickly as possible.
Well, we've seen Mathias' breakaway speed with those long strides, and, you know, he's done a great job. Mathias, of course, he stands in there. Very tall man, 6'5", 6'3", rather. And DeToro's going to roll out to his right, and he'll look for Jack Kalina, and it's incomplete as the ball rolls out of bounds there. So with 8 minutes left to go, a lot of the away side has started to leave. The home side is getting pumped up, and the Monarchs are going to move the ball way up after the personal foul by the Vikings.
Well, Kyle, that puts them in great position. New set of downs on the 25-yard line.
Right you are. So here we go, and the Monarchs, they need an answer here. DeToro rolling out to his left, makes a guy miss. DeToro gonna throw the ball, and it's gonna be just short, intended for number 4, Jalen Allison.
Well, Kyle, I think it might be kind of a good thing that Allison did not catch that ball. Defender waiting right behind him, he would have gotten creamed on that play.
Right you are. So here we go on 2nd and 10 on the 25-yard line for Alec DeToro and his offense. DeToro's going to step back, and the pressure's coming. DeToro going to run for it himself, and he'll be brought down. That defense is getting to him, Sean, and that offensive line not doing a very good job of staying in there, holding their blocks.
Yeah, Kyle, now we see why they brought Nick Lechtenberg in there. Nice block there, picking up the blitz early on, but still DeToro having difficulty finding an open receiver.
So it'll be 3rd and 10 as the secondary we haven't talked about for Omaha North has done a great job of covering those receivers that can't get open. So 3rd and 10 here. DeToro in shotgun, going to step back to pass. Pressure's coming, and DeToro is going to complete the pass to Jalen Allison, and Allison doing a great job of fighting for some extra yardage. Setting up a new set of downs. We'll see what the ref calls. It'll be 4th and just short. About 1.5 feet to go for the Monarchs. So right here, this is the play. The Monarchs don't get it. They might have to be counted out of this game, but if they get it here, there's still a chance of light. As DeToro's going to step back with a 5-wide set. And it's going to be tipped and incomplete. With less than 7 minutes left, that might have been the final nail in the coffin for the Monarchs.
Yeah, Kyle, I mean, that's just a nice defensive play from the Vikings there. Making the play when it really matters is a good effort on that drive from the Monarch offense, but just under 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter, and it is a huge lead for the Vikings. And Calvin Strong still out of the game, as we saw. Might have been not so great injury there for him.
In there instead will be 22 Javon Perkins, who got injured earlier but came back. So the injury bug has been hitting the Vikings today in their running back position.
Not a bad run there from Perkins.
Jack Kalina in on the tackle there. 6.5 minutes left to go in the game. And the Omaha North Vikings are just going to let that clock tick down. 2nd and 3 ball on the 22. Nelson will be under center again. And Nelson's going to roll out. And Nelson's going to pick up the first down with his feet, and he'll be brought down just after the first down. Setting up a new set of downs for the Vikings.
Well, you know, Kyle, this score, 35-14, it really just shows how much, well, you know, once the Vikings get started, because going into the second half, they had 7 points. And now they scored 28 points in this second half. And really just, once they get that momentum going, it is hard to stop them, both on offense and defense. They made huge plays tonight.
Right you are. It was 14-14, but after 3 unanswered scores, Omaha North got the momentum, and they've kept the momentum under their helmets. And looks like another injury, this one for the Monarchs. Can't tell who it is, but the trainers are tending to him right now. Injury bug being hit on both teams today. Still no sign of who that might be down. Marcus Harrington, the Papillion La Vista trainer, tending to an injured player. Monarch. Still no sign of who that may be. Looks like number 31, David Newell, is the one who's down, and it looks like he's hurt his arm, his right arm. And he's messed it up pretty bad, it looks like, as he's going to walk off the field. And lots of pain for David Newell.
Yeah, Kyle, David Newell, a huge asset to that defense. Makes that secondary very strong. That would be a tough loss.
So here we go on 1st and 10 for the Vikings. And Nelson's pass gonna be completed there for a 1st down. Marquise Lewis, that's the first time he's grabbed the ball yet today. 2nd time, rather.
Yeah, nice play there, nice pass.
So here we go on another 1st and 10. 5.5 minutes left to go in the game. And the ball going to go to 22, Javon Perkins on the run. And he might be the backup running back, but he's doing a pretty good job running the ball now.
Yeah, Kyle, I bet it's tough to be the backup for Calvin Strong. I mean, you don't get as many reps as you probably like, but obviously, like you said, doing a fine job here.
It'll be 2nd and 2 on the 49-yard line, looking to get on the opponent's side of the 50. Here's Nelson stepping back, and he's looking deep, and it's completed to number 6, Marquise Lewis. Makes a few guys miss until he's brought down by Jack Kalina and Kyle Emmerich. Kyle Emmerich, he's making that play from the inside linebacking position, coming all the way back to the backfield.
Yeah, that's a great job. As you said, Lewis made some nice moves on those secondary guys, and Kalina stayed strong, and Kyle Emmerich coming hustling, making a nice play.
So with 4:40 left to go in the game, the Vikings are looking to just, well, I thought they were going to eat down the clock, but here they are passing the ball, maybe trying to rub this one in. As Nelson will hand the ball off. That's number 3. We've seen him on a few plays, Tavion Seals. He had that pick 6 earlier. That time he gets pushed out of bounds with 4:20 left in this game. First down, 7 yards till the goal line. This is going to go to Tavion Seals, who's going to run it in there for his first offensive score of the day. And Omaha North now, this score really looking like they're the #1 team in the state. 41-14 right now with 4:15 left to go in the game.
Yeah, Kyle, I think once these Vikings get going, it's hard to stop them. Even without Calvin Strong, there they go, marching down the field for another touchdown.
A big shout out to all the athletic trainers, both on the Monarchs and on the Vikings side, as they've done a lot of hard work today, tending to both sides of the ball. There's been a few injuries for the Vikings, a few injuries for the Monarchs, and they're going to call this play dead. See what the official call is here. Dead ball, false start on the offense. It's going to send them 5 yards back, making this extra point just 5 yards harder. So here we go, and to attempt this yet again. Usually extra points are a 19-yard attempt. This one's going to be a 24-yard attempt for number 17, Nick Polito. He's been perfect on these extra points, and yet again perfect. Excuse me, not perfect, as that one goes to the right.
Well, Kyle, I have a feeling that the missed extra point will not have a huge effect on the outcome of this game tonight.
Well, with 4:15 and it's a 27-point game, I think you might be right on that prediction there, Sean. And the kick will be Simon Lassen. Back to receive for the Monarchs, number 4, Jalen Allison, and number 15, Reed Mathias. So here we go with 4:15 left, and the Monarchs are going to get the ball back in what could be their last drive of the game. They fought hard, but the number 1 team in the state fought a little bit harder. Here comes the kick from the 40, Lassen. He's kicked a lot of deep ones today. This one going to be returnable by Jalen Allison, his second return of the day. He's going to take it to the outside. Jalen back to the inside, making a few cuts. Jalen to the outside. Jalen, one man to beat. He beats him, but he finally brought down another great return for Jalen Allison. Brought down on the play by number 44, Justin Jemison.
Well, Kyle, I mean, that's only the second time that Allison has been able to return a kick, and once again, doing a fantastic job. Gets to the 45-yard line in Vikings territory.
Four minutes and 3 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 on the 45 for the Monarchs, as they're just going to try to pack some stats. Alec DeToro in shotgun, 4 wide set. And he's going to fake the handoff and run it himself. DeToro making a few guys miss until he's finally brought down after about a gain of 6 on the play. Gain of 3 rather, as DeToro is going to come in there on 2nd and 7 ball on the 42-yard line. So here we go on 3rd and 1 on the 36 for the Monarchs. DeToro in shotgun, and he makes a few guys jump for the defense. That's going to bring up an offside penalty, and that's an easy first down now for the Monarchs.
Yeah, Kyle, I mean, they were going to have to try and convert on this 3rd down, and the Vikings may have just given it away.
So it's a free first down for the Monarchs. Don't have to fight for it. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 31-yard line with 3:05 left in this game. And DeToro fakes the handoff, and he's going to throw it to Jack Kalina. Kalina was pretty useful there in the first quarter. He's thrown to a lot. Had a lot of receptions, but since the first quarter, he's been thrown to less, so that time, nice to see Jack Klein get in there for another reception, bringing up 2nd down and about 6 to go. DeToro gonna throw another quick one. This one intended for Jalen Allison. It's incomplete, stopping the clock. 2:27 left, 3rd and 5 now. DeToro's going to hand the ball to, that is Drake Childress coming in. It's the first time we've seen him in the game so far today, and he'll pick up a few yards, but not until it's 4th down now, 4th and short. Monarchs, of course, are going to go for it. With 2 minutes left to go in the game, Sean, there's really not a whole lot to lose at this point.
That's true, Kyle, and one of the positive things, I guess, about being down by this much is you get to get some of those 2nd-string guys in, like Drake Childress, and give them a chance to play in a live game setting.
And DeToro fakes a handoff to Childress, runs it himself, gets the first down, keeps the drive alive. So 1:50 left, time's rolling. 1st and 10 ball on the 17-yard line in the red zone now, and the Monarchs going to try to make this game a little bit closer on this drive. DeToro in the pistol. And he'll fake the handoff again. This one pass out to Jalen Allison. Allison brought down on the play by number 11. That'll be Jacoby Jones.
So about 1:20 left in the game. Monarchs threatening to score here.
Second and 7 on the 14-yard line. Monarch Broadcasting would like to thank the principals here at our school for their generous donations to Monarch Broadcasting, helping us give you this live action football here Friday nights under the lights. 45 seconds left, time's ticking away. The Monarchs in the red zone here. The handoff to Drake Childress, and Drake Childress getting a decent gain there. Bring up 4th and short. Drake Childress looks like he did pick up the first down. It'll be 1st and goal now. Ball on the 3. So here we go, 30 seconds left. The Monarchs just going to let that time roll as DeToro hands the ball off again to Childress. Childress fighting. And he's brought down. It'll be 2nd and short. 15 seconds left. Time's rolling. The Monarchs' fate is sealed.
It's like time for one more play here. Monarchs have
5
a timeout
seconds.
left.
Here we go. Last play. And DeToro's going to keep it himself run. Time has expired here. DeToro going to try to fight for a touchdown, and he'll get stuffed. That's the end of the game, folks. 41-14 here in Omaha, Nebraska, as Omaha Northwest defeats, Omaha North, not Omaha Northwest, defeats Papillion La Vista Monarchs. Omaha North improving to now 7-0 on the season. 2 games left to go. Next week, they're at Bellevue West. And then to end the season, they host Millen North here. For the Monarchs, they're 4-3. They have 2 more games next week. Their senior game, their last home game of the season, as they take on Burke Bulldogs. The Burke Bulldogs 5-1. Their only loss this year to Omaha North. And the Monarchs will close their season out at Millard South in 2 weeks. We hope you can join Monarch Broadcasting for those games and take a quick look at the highlights. Here's Reed Mathias. That big 74-yard touchdown pass from DeToro as Mathias scored.
Yeah, Kyle, that was a great answer to that interception for a touchdown from the Vikings earlier.
But this was Calvin Strong's game. Right here, this is that big touchdown run from Calvin Strong. Gets up the middle, takes it to the outside. No one's going to touch him as he's going to get in there for 6. That was his 2nd score of the game.
Big sack right there. That was one of, 4 in that same drive that really just killed the Monarchs.
And that was that big punt, that muffed punt there, as the snap was just not good enough. It was too high, and plays like that kind of killed the Monarchs. Big momentum shift. So here's Alec DeToro making something out of nothing, something he's done all season. Looks like he's going to get sacked, and he pulls a Houdini. This was Marquise Lewis, big reception earlier. And here's Jalen Allison, that last kick return we saw for the Monarchs before that last drive, as Allison just makes guys miss. Very agile, takes to the outside, and I mean, if he didn't get tripped up here, that could have been 6.
Absolutely. 2 great returns on the night for Jalen Allison.
So there's a look at your Monarchs, folks. That's the end of the game. 41-14 here in Omaha, Nebraska, as Omaha North beats Papillion La Vista. Signing out, Kyle Cephas alongside me,
Sean Crowell.
and we'll see you next week live